feeling so emotional. I'm feeling so emotional. I'm feeling so emotional. I don't know why. I don't even know why I did that, to be honest. You know, I think that I am a little bit emotional. You know, I'm going to admit that. My emotions are settling in. Oh my gosh, they're settling in, which creeps me out as an earth sign. But they are, and I think it's because we are formally being initiated into a new cycle, in part by the Cancer new moon. Yes, the Cancer new moon will be taking place on June 25th of this year, 2025. Now, with this new moon, it invites us to set intentions, right? It invites us to retreat into our safety net. Okay, you may not want to go out during this time, because Cancer is all about nesting, it's all about comforting, it's all about getting energy from itself, and then it can when it isolates itself, then it's able to receive love, and then it's able to give love to everybody else. So it's asking us to retreat into our homes, into our sacred places, and into our hearts, to feel our heart's desire. What is it that truly nurtures me? Am I nurturing a talent? Am I nurturing a gift? Am I really just nurturing my loved ones, my elderly parents, right? Or am I nurturing truly myself? Because if you do not nurture yourself, you don't have the energy or the motivation to nurture anyone else, to take care of anyone else. And this new moon is saying, hey, you need to narrow that down, and you need to prioritize your well-being, not only physically, but emotionally as well. And the moon is actually at home in Cancer because the moon rules Cancer. Currently, Jupiter is exalted right now in the sign of Cancer. So it's only amplifying those opportunities of nurturing ourselves, of receiving love, of giving love, of creating foundations in a home, something that we could be proud of, and also fulfilling our emotional desires and our joys. We're being asked to sit with our emotions during this time, not rush past them like I usually do as an earth sign, because we love to do that. We love to outwork our emotions. Air signs love to act like they don't exist. Fire signs, they feel them and they express them in a fiery way, and so does water signs. But it's just us earth and air emotions, we really just don't do those. We have to sit with them, all of us, all of the signs. We're being asked to sit with these emotions so that we can tune into what we really need to feel safe, to feel that Cancer energy, to feel mothered. You know what I'm saying? To feel that mother energy. During these times, with rumors of wars, of this, of that, of not having enough to give, not having enough to receive, and not having enough to eat, we're like, I don't have nothing to give right now. The Cancer new moon, okay, mother, this big mother energy is saying, retreat, come home, take a nap, cry it out, do whatever you need to do to feel nurtured. Nurture yourself back into emotional wholeness, to a soulful wholeness, because Cancer is very soulful. And we're being called, all of us, robots or aliens or whoever earth and air signs want to call themselves, we're being called back to feel like humans, to feel our emotions like those fire signs and those water signs. We're asking ourselves this question as a collective: do our desires reflect our soul's growth and our conditioning? And while this lunation brings like uplifting, motivating energy, it may also stir up some deep feelings, some that we don't want to feel, but some of them, most of them, that we're going to feel regardless to whether we accept it or not. The mission for this new moon is to mother ourselves fiercely and to set and plant intentions that feel like home, something that we could be proud of, something that is a soul's calling. So I want you guys to ask yourself, what is it that you need to do to feel that soul's calling that's going to nurture you back to yourself? That's gonna make you say, okay, I can move on with this today because I had the time and the energy to do this, to do something I truly enjoyed. And the reason why I put joy into this is because we are having a Cancer stellium along with the Cancer new moon. So not only is the sun and the moon in the same sign of Cancer, we have Jupiter, like I said, in exaltation. So with the sun and moon conjuncting Jupiter, we're having this emotional expansion regarding our optimism. How much faith do we have in our future, in our dreams? How much faith do we have in abundance? Okay. Are we willing to dream big outside of our circumstances? What brings us emotional fulfillment and joy? That's what the new moon conjunct Jupiter is doing. But other than that, Jupiter in Cancer is also conjuncting the part of fortune. So if you guys are scared of nurturing yourselves, of taking a break, of resting, just know you get more fortune out of doing that. North Node is currently in the sign of Pisces, which influences us, which is pushing us, which motivates us to take a break. Did you know that there are people who are passing every day because they didn't use their break hour? Those who had the luxury to take a vacation didn't. And the Cancer new moon, this moon in Cancer, mother is saying, oh hell no. We're all being called to take a break, to sit with our emotions and to heal. Also, we have Mercury in that lineup of that Cancer stellium. So we're going to be thinking in ways that prioritizes our emotions, our feelings, things that we cannot sweep under the rug at this time because it's really not good for our physical being. Most illnesses start with your emotions not being acknowledged, with your feelings not being acknowledged, with you trying to outwork your feelings and emotions. And yes, I'm calling out myself as well as you guys out there. And if you haven't been getting hired, if you haven't gotten your hours cut back, if you truly are not happy, if you are being banged and hit across your face and your body with all these unwanted emotions and feelings, it's kind of like it was ordained from a higher power or a higher source or the universe, because it is calling us into alignment with our souls, with our intuitions and its needs for this new moon in Cancer. Okay, that is the mission. I also wanted to add that we are having Mercury in Cancer that is squaring Chiron in the sign of Aries. What does that mean? That means that we're going to have some discussions come up. We're going to have some memories come up about things that have hurt us, the things that people have said. Our family might have said something that really pissed us off, that affected us to this day. When my father criticized me, when my mother said that my B- wasn't enough, even though I spent hours and hours of studying, or I had a friend who I thought was going to back me up, or who could see me in my struggle and, maybe help me out a little bit, just offer me some money, and they didn't. They're offering it to everybody else. Okay, that is Mercury square Chiron at this time, with Mercury being in Cancer and Aries being in Chiron. We are going to be vocal about the things that have hurt us. We're going to express those emotions, and it is up for other people to receive them well or not. But whether they receive it well or not is neither here or there. They need to hear the truth, because that's going to be healing for us when we speak from our view, right? When we are speaking our truth, it's healing for us. It should be healing for everybody, but some people are not going to accept that. So on to the next transit. We are having the new moon, the sun and the moon, sextiling Mars. Okay, so this is giving us a motivation to not only nurture ourselves, but our dreams, an opportunity to create a foundation and a home for ourselves, something that is comforting. What motivates you? Mars is in the sign of Virgo. So while you're setting these new moon intentions and you're saying, I want this, I want my home to look like this, I want to create better memories. Okay, I want to create my own family, my own tribe, my own business. Mars in Virgo, it is helping you along the way with the sextile, but it's saying we have to be precise. We have to be analytical. We have to dot our T's and cross our I's. Okay, step 1, we have this dream. Step 2, what's next? Do we buy supply? Do we create connections? Do we socialize so that we can collaborate with people, so that we can push our dreams through? That sort of thing is what happens when you have the new moon in Cancer sextiling Mars in Virgo. Okay, so we're going to have a very positive motivation to get the ball rolling into living this reality and this dream that we have when we're setting intentions for this new moon in Cancer. But here's the thing, we can't be delusional. And the reason why we can't be delusional is because we have Saturn conjuncting Neptune in the sign of Aries. So things get real. Okay, we need our dreams to get real. Saturn in Aries is saying that we need some real discipline to get real. In this conjunction with Saturn and Neptune, it's making a square to the sun and the moon, the new moon, in the sign of Cancer. It's saying, okay, you have these big dreams, you want to feel this, you want to feel that, you have all these seeds that you need to plant. But do you see things clearly? And we got to be real. Because Cancer is real. This is a time for us to be real and to feel this soul connection, not only to everybody, but to ourselves, and say, why are we planting this seed? Why do we have these dreams? Is this for my own security, or is this to make somebody else happy? Am I wanting these dreams and creating these memories and building this business? Am I having all of these? Are these dreams even mine? Am I seeing things clearly with this person that I have? I've been dating this person for X amount of months, and I have a dream that we move on to the next level and make serious commitment. That's an example. But Neptune and Saturn is asking you, is it even real? Neptune is asking you, is it even real? We need to gain some clarity on that situation. And Saturn is saying, you need to get real. Okay, is this the person for you? Because if it's not, I'm yanking them away. Because Saturn will yank things away from us that do not serve us. Okay, they give us a reality check. And with the sun and the moon making an aspect, a positive aspect to Jupiter, we're going to need to ask those questions because we're planting seeds towards our higher good. Because that's Jupiter. Jupiter is our higher good, it's our prosperity, it's our abundance. But in order for us to get to that abundance, whether it's around setting intentions, creating a family, creating a home, realizing our dreams, we must get honest and we must see things clearly. So drop down in the comments section and tell me, what dreams do you have? What seeds are you planting? Ask yourself, what are you truly motivated by to plant these seeds? And then I want you to personally create the steps to make that happen, because this is a very not only highly emotional time, but this is a very magical time as well. So, you know, some of us, like myself, have been feeling very withdrawn, crabby, emotional. I've talked to other people. Some people have cried. Some people have been having word vomit. Some people have been expressing themselves to their family members, things that they've really held back, but they need to get off their chest. And the reason why this is happening is because they want to create new foundations. They have to. And in order to do that, they have to honor their emotions, their soul's calling, and what their soul also needs to release. So that is my interpretation, my forecast for the Cancer new moon happening on June 25th this year of 2025, if I could wrap my head around it. So yeah, either you get with the Cancer new moon, or it's going to do something to make you cry, because it's also collaborating with Saturn. We're going to start with our Cancer suns, moons, and risings, our moon children. Okay, this Cancer new moon is all about you, like that Tupac song. It's all about you. Doom, 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 doom. I feel like everybody's always sampling Candy from Cameo, but that's neither here or there. This Cancer new moon is all about you, and because the moon, which is your ruler, is making an aspect, a close conjunction to Jupiter in Cancer, which is at its exaltation, that means that this is going to be very personal glow for you that could benefit you in the end, but you are going to have to expand your worldview, change your beliefs so that you can meet this type of person, your higher self that you're trying to get in contact with for this glow up. And basically what I'm saying is that with growth, you have to change your mindset. You have to change the things that you believe, the things that you tell yourself, the things that you thought that you could hold on, that could carry you, that are now outdated because you are ascending into a new version of yourself, right? Or a new phase, a new cycle for all of you Cancer suns, moons, and risings. So during this time, you will be motivated to speak your truth. You're going to be motivated to stand up to people that you've been avoiding, right? Maybe it is your neighbor, okay, who low-key harasses you and uses little microaggressions. Maybe it's your siblings or your cousins, and you're like, you know what? You've always said this, you've always done this. I'm not okay with it. And this new version of yourself allows you to stand up for yourself. And it also allows you to speak your truth. It allows you to stand 10 toes down in your truth as someone who is brave, as someone who is expanding, as someone who's challenging their own beliefs. And this is the thing. Although it seems like a good idea because you have all these dreams on where you want to go, where you want to be, what you want to look like, you have to do some hard work because the moon and the sun is making a tense square between Neptune and Saturn conjunction. We also have this Saturn-Neptune conjunction in the sign of Aries, which is going to be squaring your sun, your moon, and yourself. And basically what that's saying is that although you want to be this dream person, have this dream life, all that jazz, you have to get real on why you want it in the first place. You have to get real on the things that you have to quit in order to get there, and you have to discipline yourself, and you don't want to do that. You know, Cancer sometimes live in a daydreamer. You have the wool pull over your eyes, or you have this vision or this perception of somebody to fit into your happily ever after, and for situations to work out like that, but it's not always going to work that way. You need to get real and you need to discipline yourself. There are some beliefs that have held you back in the past that you can no longer take with you as you ascend into this higher version of yourself. But I believe that you can do it, because one thing I've noticed about Cancer suns, moons, and risings is that you guys can cry 1 minute, an ugly cry, very emotional, pour your heart out into the bed. Oh my God. you know what? You get up and you fight and you create the things that you dreamed about. And because I've seen you do that, I know that you can. So good luck to you, all my Cancer suns, moons, and risings, for this glow up. Put things into perspective, draw boundaries, and ask yourself, why do I truly want to be this dream person? And don't allow nobody to play in your face. My forehead people. This new moon in Cancer is all about your home, your lineage, and most importantly, your emotional inner world. I see that at this time you want to feel abundant, you want to feel free, you want to feel positivity. You no longer want to be that negative ram, that negative Aries that believes that things are not possible, things are not this, things are not that. You want to create a home that you dream of, and you want to plant seeds and intentions around creating an inner reality that is like a sanctuary, an inner reality that brings joy, okay, that brings expansion and abundance. You want to create a safe place. All right, your ruler is Mars, right? It is currently transiting the sign of Virgo, and it's sextiling that new moon in Cancer. So basically, with your ruler sextiling the new moon in Cancer, it is saying that you have the capabilities, you have the motivations to heal yourself, to heal your home life if there's complications around your home life, or if there's complications around your emotional nature or your intuition. You have the capabilities to cleanse that and to bounce back even better, right? Because you have this motivation to create this sanctuary that you've always wanted. And even when you have problems with family, you have the energy to cut out certain things, to stand 10 toes down, create boundaries, and be honest with yourself. This new moon is motivating you to be honest with yourself in order to live a reality, to create a daily routine that honors nurturing yourself, that honors emotional depth, that honors soulfulness in a safety net, in security in your home life. Strike this balance between your work life and your home life. It's saying that you have potential to do so, to prioritize your home and your emotions by being emotionally honest, because there's strength in your emotional honesty. Now, Chiron has been in your sign, Aries, for quite a while, and is making a square to Mercury. So, what does that mean? That means that you're getting emotionally honest. You're telling you're getting all of these memories from the past, mostly that come from your childhood. And now you're in a space of confronting those feelings, confronting your wounds, and making amends with people in your family. Some people will receive it and some people won't. And while these old family wounds resurface and you speak, you find that whether it heals both parties or just yourself, it benefits yourself, because when you speak your truth, when you're honoring your emotions, you're no longer throwing fits. You're no longer feeling that you have to overcompensate with your physical appearance or being number one at your job and your career, because now you have found the root as to why you have to fight so hard, or you feel you have to fight so hard, and it's because you are running from your past. We're doing this Cancer new moon. You can no longer run from your past. You now have the balls to change it. Now for my Libras, okay, my Libra suns, moons, and risings, okay, the fair people, the balanced people. This new moon in Cancer is taking place in your 10th house, okay, and you also have Jupiter that's exalted in the sign of Cancer in that 10th house, asking you to set intentions. Or maybe you are already at a place in your life where you're abundant in your public image, in your career. You're starting something new, or you're wanting to plant seeds around where you want to go in your life. I want this career. I want to look this way to the public. I want to have this reputation that precedes me in a positive way, something that is actually positive. You know what I'm saying? And because it's in the sign of Cancer, it has to do with your legacy, and possibly a legacy that you could leave for your family. Now we have Mercury squaring Chiron, which means that you are feeling motivated to come out with your truth around your public and your private life. I see that you're at a point in your life where you don't want to feel shortchanged by anybody, by your boo things, by your besties, even by the people who manage your career, like your manager or your coworkers. You are saying that I am worthy, I do have this and that, and I have to speak my truth, because speaking the truth, Chiron, squaring Chiron, is your healing. And the way that you're going to heal is acknowledge that you have been shortchanged, that you have held back, that you've held your tongue and everything, and that your reputation and career has taken a dip, and how it's done something with your health. And now you're drawing in some boundaries, you're speaking your truth, and you're releasing yourself from those pains. And I'm really proud of you, Libra. I also see that you may need to make some moves behind the scenes in order for you to see progress. You shouldn't tell everybody your next best laid plans, because what does that do for you? And I'm giving you the okay to be a sneaky bit at this time, because you have to. Suns, moons, and risings. This Cancer new moon forecast is all about not you, right? Because it's your opposite. It's in your opposite sign, Cancer. So what is it about then? You already know. Relationships, your other half, your approach to relationships. You are setting new intentions on how you relate to people, not just boo things, not just besties, but how you approach relationships as a whole, in which it'll change who you attract. I see that you're thinking more from a place of abundance. So when you go out here and you try to make connections with anybody, right? What you're going to do is you're going to do it with optimism. You're going to do it with faith that you can connect with people or two people who could possibly be a part of your soul tribe, your soulmates, you know, people who are meant to be in your life. Because there's a lot of pessimism with Capricorns in regards to who is a true friend, who's a true ally, and who is a potential spouse, lover, somebody you can trust, because Capricorns have learned to basically do everything on their own. And because they're a mature sign, they feel like they're more mature than the people around them. And then when they get older, they become more immature than the people around them, because Saturn rewards them later. And really, when you think about it, Capricorn, you realize that the way you approach relationships is directly tied to how you view relationships growing up. You know, when it comes to your parents, or when it came to your aunts and your uncles, the people in the neighborhood. There's a reason why they say it takes a village to raise a child. So whatever that child's surrounded by, however that child reacts or responds, that typically grows up into an adult, it basically mirrors back what the village showed him, revealed to him, gave him, or what was going on in that village. And with you coming to terms with that, it's going to scratch at a wound of yours when it comes to your family, when it comes to your emotions and things like that. But it's also going to be healing once you get down to the root of things and why this root has taken place in your life when it comes to relationships. And it could have been an ancestral wound that's controlling your connections with people, that it's operating in your body, that's causing you to choose the wrong people or attract the wrong people. And then you have your ruling planet Saturn that's conjuncting Neptune in the sign of Aries, which is squaring that new moon that's taking place in your 7th house from your 3rd house. So it's basically like a wake-up call. Like, you need to change your thoughts when it comes to people. You need to change the people that you hang around, because you're trying to ascend to this high-level soulmate, whether that is a friend, whether that is a lover, whether that is a business partner. You have to change your surroundings. And what that's going to happen, well, before you can do that, you have to change your everyday thoughts, because they could be limiting you, or you could be like you don't have a grip on reality and you need some clarity around that. So remember, when you have the motivation to learn and expand and to change, that opens doors in relationships. When you adapt new beliefs, then you get new relationships that mirror your new beliefs. So I hope that helps you, Capricorn suns, moons, and risings. Gemini suns, moons, and risings. Okay, you're having this Cancer new moon happening in the 2nd house. What is the 2nd house? In the area of your self-esteem, your self-worth, your material wealth. And because Jupiter is also exalted in the sign of Cancer and is conjuncting the new moon in that particular area of your life, baby, you're gonna be paid. But you're only going to be paid when you learn how to handle your financial affairs. But that is also attached to your self-worth, your value. How do you see yourself? Are you doing work that feeds you, that gives you this feeling of abundance? Because when you feel abundant, that's when your wealth will come from, because you'll be accessing that vibration. Now, your ruler temporarily at the moment is residing also in the sign of Cancer. So you'll have multiple opportunities and extra streams of income to make your desired income. You'll have lots of ideas on how to grow that as well. But because it is making a square to Chiron in Aries, you'll kind of feel this insecurity, this wound around your community, around your friends, around your online presence, or around like you in public, because you're like, I feel valued, but do you guys value me for my service, for what I do for you? It's like you're motivated to build this abundance, but you have to be tapped into your higher self. Stop dicking around. And although when it comes to your career or your public reputation or your vocation, you don't know where the hell you're going, but a good start is when you figure out who you are and what your values are, and working on that self-esteem, because when you work on that, wealth comes afterwards in all forms. Emotional wealth equals actual wealth, material wealth. Virgo suns, moons, and risings. Where's your abundance coming in? Where are you planting seed? Well, it's towards your future, of course. And because Jupiter will also be residing in that area of your life of your connections, your friendships, your dreams, your goals, and your future, you are being inspired to dream big this time, which is major for a lot of Virgos because we are natural pessimists. Let's keep it real and shame the devil, okay? And with Mars in our sign, in the sign of Virgo, we're feeling more motivated. We're feeling more self-confident to get to our goals without doubt, without fear, without none of that BS. Now, our ruler is also in the sign of Cancer, Mercury, right? And it's squaring our Chiron in the 8th house of intimacy, transformation, shared values, and resources. So yeah, we'll feel a little bit insecure about getting intimate with our, friendships, with our online followers and things like that, about how we've grieved betrayal, all that jazz. And though we feel insecure about exposing ourselves on a personal level, that shit might actually work and actually turn the key to our abundance and unlock everything. But you know why? Because we're being real. We're no longer keeping up this perfect image. See, because when we show up for ourselves authentically, then everybody shows up for us authentically, drawing in soulmates, our tribes and followers who connect to us on a more deepful, soulful level. And though we've had shitty connections with partners, besties, boo things, one-night standards, even business partners, we are gaining more clarity and disciplining ourselves on who we can and cannot trust, no longer wearing the rose-tinted or the purple-tinted glass. So while we're being open and intimate, we're still using our discernment, but in a way that benefits us and gives us the red light and the green light on who we can open up to and trust. Good for us, finally. In Sagittarius, suns, moons, and risings, okay? My archers, you know what I'm saying? The new moon in Cancer is also conjuncting your ruler, which is Jupiter, and it's exalted in the sign of Cancer. So you're pretty damn lucky, okay? You're really pretty damn lucky. And this is happening in the area of your shared resources, your intimacy, your loans, your taxes, all of that jazz. And I feel like during this time, you're more open to healing. You're more open to receiving truth, no matter if it hurts or not. But because Jupiter, your ruler, is in that area of your life, it actually works out for your good. It benefits you. It may be hard to hear, but it benefits you for your good. You are a luck sign, okay? Your ruler is literally exalted at this time. So when you heal, you expand. You become luckier. You become more abundant and prosperous. And those who truly value you will give to you even more. And we know that you love to receive gifts as much as you love to give them. Now brace yourself, because there'll be a whole lot of things concerning your kids, your lovers, a whole lot of secrets and truths that are coming out, which may make you very, very uncomfortable, as it will anybody in the zodiac, or just anybody, period. And you're gonna be like, what? I didn't know this was going on within me. I didn't know I was still traumatized. I didn't know that the things that happened to me in my past, in my childhood, or was passed on from my lineage still affected me from this day to this day. But see, you're gonna transmute that pain and that anger and that trauma and turn it into depth. Turn it into truth, which is who you are, and turning it into a stepping stool. And when you're able to walk in your truth, right? The truth for what it is, you're able to organize yourself, your home, and your emotional well-being, because that is what counts around this time of the Cancer new moon. And when you are emotionally tapped in and honest with your audience and honest with people, it strangely skyrockets your persona in your career. So good things do turn out for you, Sagittarius. It goes to show you that when you do the inner work, you're being able to be rewarded with opportunities because you've earned them on a spiritual basis. And we love that for you, Sags. Last but not least, my fishermen, my mermaids, Pisces, suns, moons, and risings. This new moon is kind of going to be easier for you because it's in a water sign and you are a water sign. So it's going to trine real easy for you. It's going to have you accessing your creativity, your inner child, and expanding upon that. You are planting seeds, okay? You are nurturing your inner child. And when you do that, you're going through a creative rebirth. You'll be accessing your inner joy, which is going to unlock the key to your abundance. And most importantly, prosperity, giving you those sand dollars, or actual dollars, or Bitcoin, or whatever you accept. You know, Jupiter is your co-ruler. It's your traditional ruler of Pisces, and it's exalted in the sign of Cancer. So that's going to give you a lot of abundance and flow and luck in that area of life. But here's the problem. Your present day ruler is Neptune, and Neptune is currently in the combative sign of Aries, squaring this new moon, which is trying to give you an awareness on if you have clarity when it comes to yourself, when it comes to your projects, when it comes to the people you choose to entertain, party with, or do extracurriculars with. Are these people truly worthy of your time? Okay, is this collaboration good for your individual self? And see, what that's going to do is have you questioning your own worthiness, right? Your own self-worth. But what I see you doing is seeing you take this pain and turn it into profit, into purpose, something that people can connect to, because you have created from a space of authenticity that can not only heal yourself and your truth, but also heal others. And that is what your sign is all about: spiritual clarity and healing in the arts. With Mars, charging you up in your one-to-one relationships in your opposite sign of Virgo, making a sextile to your traditional ruler, Jupiter in Cancer, which is taking place in your 5th house of creativity, love, joy, children. You're going to begin asking yourself, who is your muse? Who can help you partner on this project, on these kids? Who is going to pull their weight in this relationship? But this time, because you've done the actual work with yourself, you are going to draw in people who bring you prosperity, abundance, joy, and actual loyalty that exists on this physical plane. Taurus, suns, moons, and ascendants, risings. I see that you're getting more comfortable with using your voice. You're starting to realize that when you speak your truth, abundance comes. And because the 3rd house, the section where this new moon is going to be taking place, you're going to realize the importance of thinking abundantly. Because when you think from a place of abundance and prosperity and of wealth, then you can speak it into your existence. See, you bulls are no longer bullshitting around, okay? With this Cancer new moon, with Jupiter in Cancer, you're tapping in from an intuitive place, okay? Your higher self, your soul. And because you learn your lessons on how negative thought patterns and speaking patterns won't really give you the desired reality, you're saying, you know what? I can change things in my immediate environment by speaking life, by thinking life, by tapping in from a higher place, because I deserve love, okay? I deserve good things that are coming to me. You're saying this. You're realizing that you deserve joy and happiness and creativity and all the good things in life. Everything doesn't always have to be like grounded reality. Even though you are an earth sign, the first earth sign, you're thinking now from a place of creation. And I'm not saying that you won't have issues in regards to verbally expressing yourself and speaking your mind when it comes to your friendships, when it comes to your community, even when it comes to your siblings. But I'm saying that no matter who misunderstands you, you understand yourself. And when you are speaking to get things off of your chest, you are growing as a person. You're sick of holding on. You're sick of being uncomfortable. And now you no longer will be. Because when you free your mind, you're able to download more creativity, more joy, things for your passion projects. Creativity that leads to your personal fulfillment. Yes, in some circumstances, you do have to watch what you say or be very clear and bring some clarity around what you're trying to say and which audience to say it to. But during this time, I do see you upgrading in your thoughts and your minds, and ultimately it'll manifest in your reality. Leos, my Leo suns, moons, and risings. This Cancer new moon is basically saying, girl, guy, king, queen, whatever, take a rest. Go enjoy some rest, some well-deserved rest. And the reason why I say this is because you've been working very hard and sometimes outrunning yourself and your trauma by working very hard, by trying to make a name for yourself in public. But during this time, you need to retreat. And the reason why I say that you need to retreat is because that's the only way you're going to gain abundance and awareness, by going into that 12th house, into your seclusion, into meditation, into prayer, into a vacation. When was the last time you rested, like truly? Not going on a brand trip, not having a double vacation where you're actually doing business as well. But when was the last time that you sat with yourself and nurtured yourself? Because in those moments of silence, of meditation, of prayer, you gain this clarity. You start receiving these spiritual downloads. And what these spiritual downloads are going to do is going to bring you an awareness on your wounds, on what you believe in. If you believe in yourself, if you believe in a higher power, what philosophies have truly been helping you or damaging you? And if those type of beliefs are linked to your trauma, okay? Spirit is asking you to gain some clarity around your debts, not only your financial debts, but your spiritual debts as well. Like, you have a lot of healing that needs to be done, and this is why Spirit is calling you to rest during this Cancer new moon. And when you're ready to rest and to heal, you'll regain clarity around your life, your spiritual and your physical life. From facing your shadows, the ugly parts of you, that darkness, that trauma that you've been trying to outrun. See, when you heal on a spiritual level, your reality heals. When you heal yourself of your spiritual debts, then you're able to experience the best abundance out there, which is spiritual abundance. Because then you'll have this, not only this inner clarity, but this inner peace. A true peace and closure that surpasses any understanding. And when you gain the spiritual abundance, you gain this abundance of self-worth, this abundance of clarity, of finances, and a better self-concept, because although you put out to the world that you have this bravado, you're a queen, you're this, you're that, you don't feel that deep down inside. And so during this Cancer new moon, you're going to heal that particular problem. Because Leo, there's no fears without facing your true fears. Scorpio, suns, moons, and risings. How high can you get? And no, I'm not talking about drugs. I'm really talking about how this Cancer new moon is going to lead you to a direction of abundance, because it's taking place in the 9th house of higher learning, higher law, of publishing, of seeing the world for what it is, discovering your truths, your higher truths. Okay, the truth. And we know you Scorpios love to discover unhidden things so that you could get to that truth. Well, this Cancer new moon is granting you that wish. But it won't be easy, because with that Mercury square Chiron, you are being challenged to release the old bad habits, your old thought patterns that have held you back in your reality, that have held you back in your daily life, that have held you back at your work and your job, and how these beliefs have impacted even your physical health. It's time for you to speak your truth, whether that is at the office, in your daily life, to your friends, even to your pets, at your job, in your work. Because when you do that, you're honoring your higher self, you're honoring your higher truth, and you're releasing those burdens that impact your physical health. And it's when you do this that you gain more clarity on your direction in your life. Like, for instance, you have these dreams, right? You have these goals, you have your friends, you have this, you have that. And I think that when you gain this higher perspective on life and you allow yourself to expand and let go of the religious beliefs that may have been tied to your past, or may have been tied to an educator or a mentor or even your authority figure, when you release those wounds and those pains, then you're able to get closer to your dreams and your goals. But you have to be clear on your desires, okay? With the new moon squaring Neptune and Saturn, you need to gain clarity on what you want to create, who you want to create with. Gain clarity on your relationships with your kids. Are you truly nurturing them like you say that you are, or are you putting on a show? When you're out here doing your thing, hitting the town, having fun with your significant others or your friends, are you truly having fun? Or are you using that as an escape? Guess what, Scorpions? You can't do that now. You have to operate from a higher perspective. You have to gain clarity on where exactly you want to be in your life. You have to be very precise. And remember, what you believe will become magnetized into your life, into your existence. So if you believe that you could get to a desired goal or accomplish a certain dream, you can. But it will take work from a higher perspective. And last but not least, Aquarius. My Aquarius suns, moons, and risings, okay, my electricians of the zodiac, because you're so electrifying. Did you guys know that John Travolta said that in Greece, and he too is an Aquarius? I just figured that out. What the fuck? My Aquarius folks, I see that at this time, you're really carefully considering things that are good for your health, that are good for your inner peace, your mind, and your soul. I see that you are planting seeds of abundance in your work life, in your daily life, in your reality. I think that you are focusing more on what feels good and what actually is soothing for your soul. You're prioritizing your emotional health. Now, your traditional ruler, Saturn, is currently in the sign of Aries and is making a conjunction to Neptune in Aries, which is creating this type of square to the new moon that's going to be affecting you in your pocketbooks and in your workplace, or when it comes to your self-concept, your self-worth, your values, and your everyday routine. And you have to gain clarity on those things. What are you willing to accept in your daily life, at your work, at your job? Is it truly worth it? How do you feel inside? Is there a peace that you get when you clock into reality? Is there a peace that you get when you clock into work? I see that during this time, you are motivated to clear up debts, whether that is financial, whether that is physical, if that is sexual, if that is mostly emotional debt, spiritual debt, because it's when you detox, it's when you speak from your truth. Like, I didn't know this happened to me. I didn't know I was this wounded. When you're able to be vulnerable and emo, or able to just let people know what's going on with you, then that can lead to abundance. That can lead to people saying, okay, let's help him out. Let's help him have time, or her to have time to nurture themselves, because they've let me know what is going on with them. Because when you're able to emotionally detox and speak your truth, you're able to get this energy boost because you're freeing yourself from those emotional burdens. Productivity becomes spiritual and you tap into your abundance through your daily life. If you enjoy my videos, like, share, and subscribe. If you want a reading from me, you can reach out with my email that I drop below in the description box, or you can look at the menu that I've already created of the services that I already offer.
Let me tell you something. You don't own no streets.